Howdy, howdy. So this is going to be a quick-ish video on the computer. In the video, I'm going to be going over the computer itself, the monitor, the keyboard, which is a gaming keyboard, and the gaming mouse. I will also be going over how to install games, the different programs that games come on, as well as any additional information that may be needed. Starting with the monitor, this is an Omen by HP 25-inch FHD 1080p gaming monitor with the tilt adjustment and AMD FreeSync technology. Now, all of that might sound pretty complicated, but in other words, it's a very good gaming monitor. Being 25 inches and FHD, you will be able to see your game pretty crystal clear. It has a very high refresh rate and can handle games such as GTA, Call of Duty, Team Fortress, Minecraft, you name it, and I've played it on this monitor and have had no problems with it. Next is the keyboard. This is a gaming Razer keyboard, Razer being a very, very good gaming company that makes very high-end gaming products such as mouses, keyboards, even computers themselves. The keyboard also has macro keys which can be configured to basically open programs or extra keys for games such as your choice. The only kind of flaw with this keyboard is that the light for the number 4 key on the keypad is blinking and usually turns off, but the actual key itself has no problems whatsoever. Next, we have the gaming mouse. This is a Razer mouse as well and has 12 buttons on the side, which can also be configured to any key or opening a program with the Razer program that I'm going to show you later in the video. This mouse is pretty top of the line gaming since it does have 12 gaming keys on the side of it. The shape of the mouse is made for long-term gaming, making FPS shooters and other games absolutely amazing. Lastly, we have the computer itself. There's many components to the actual computer, and I'll go ahead and go through the list. For the graphics card, we have a GeForce 1080 Ti 4GB graphics card. We have RAM of 16GB Ripjaw gaming RAM, a Samsung 500GB SSD hard drive, Cooling Master CPU cooling, and although it isn't liquid cooling, this thing has never heated up over capacity when playing more than 2 games at once. The CPU, which is basically the brains of the computer, is a Intel Core i5-7600K CPU running at 3.8 GHz. It is a 4-core CPU, which means you can run multiple programs at once and not lose frame rate or performance issues. In other words, it's one hell of a CPU. Next, we have the motherboard, which is an MSI Z270 Gaming MS motherboard. I'll be linking the motherboard itself in the description, and this is because if you want to upgrade any type of component within the motherboard, such as the RAM or replace the CPU itself, you have to make sure you know what type of motherboard you have. That way, the component that you're replacing it with is also compatible with the type of motherboard. I'll also include some recommendations for upgrades that you can do that are also compatible with the type of motherboard, but if you have any questions about this, then feel free to contact me and I'll help you out as much as I can. For the power brick, it is a Corsair 750M power brick. It includes a on and off switch for the power brick. Just in case you don't use the PC for quite a while, it is recommended to turn the actual power brick off. Lastly, the case itself is a mid-tower Corsair gaming case. There is 2 sides that open up. The back side, which doesn't have the glass, is where the SSD or the hard drive will be going, and the part with the glass is basically showing off all the internal components safely. It is also recommended to have this PC propped up on such as a book or cardboard, but not directly on carpet. That's not to say that you can't have it on carpet if you have no choice, but it's just recommended not to, just so you can keep it as clean and as long-term durability as possible. Other than that, that's the physical specs of the actual PC. Now it's time to go into how to start gaming with the new PC. I will see you in just a second. Alrighty, so first off, basically these are the programs I'm going to be going over. Some of them may seem very straightforward, such as Google Chrome, but it is very important. So first, we're going to start with Google Chrome. I highly suggest using this browser for gaming only because when you download things, it makes it a lot easier, and most gamers, if not all gamers who use PC, use Google Chrome for their downloading and their streaming and most everything. Google Chrome is highly recommended instead of like Microsoft Edge or Firefox. Not many people use those. So Google Chrome for the win. Next, we're going to be going into the GeForce experience. Basically, you have this thing called drivers on your computer. Drivers are what run the game. That's what pushes the game so that it runs smoothly. But the only way to update your drivers, and as you can see, I need to update mine, is by getting something called GeForce Experience. When you get it, you have to make an account, and it'll automatically scan your PC, see what type of graphics card you have, and go ahead and give you an update for your graphics card itself. Now, when you're ready to update it, go ahead and click that little download button, and it should automatically start going through. And just follow the directions, and you'll be good. Once it's downloaded, your game should run quite smoothly. And if you have any problems with your game, such as it crashing or it's running at very low FPS, always check to make sure that your drivers are updated. I've had that problem many times, and I've gotten very frustrated when the solution was as simple as downloading a new update for your game driver. So, very important. GeForce Experience also gives you a little home, so any game that you already have installed on your computer will end up right here, and you can go into the details and optimize it for your PC. Like I said, it scans your PC, sees how much it can handle, and optimizes your game so that it looks beautiful, plays perfectly, and doesn't push your PC to limits that it can't reach. It's a very good program to have, and it's quite essential for PC gamers. Next, we're going to be going into Razer Synapse. Basically, this will show like your Razer keyboard and your Razer mouse. This is where you can set up the macro keys. You can change the color of your mouse. Sadly, you aren't able to change the color of your keyboard, but you are able to program your keys. That way, you can configure your keys to be different, or you can set up your macro keys, or you can turn the lighting off on your keyboard. Just Razer Synapse is the Razer hub for your products that are by Razer. They also have all these little features right here which you can go ahead and explore, but you will want to go to Studio to basically configure all your settings for your what is it called, for your keyboard and mouse. Right now, I don't have any on my computer made by Razer, but once you connect the keyboard and the mouse, you'll go up to Studio and, like I said, configure all lighting and all that kind of stuff. Alrighty, so now we have the game launchers. There's multiple game launchers you can get, and these won't be the only ones that you will get. There's a lot of game launchers out there, but these are the main ones, which are Steam, Epic Games Launcher, Battle.net, and the Rockstar Game Launcher. We'll go ahead and start with Steam. Once you create an account and you verify it and you're basically set up, you'll get this page right here, which is the store. This is where you can look up any game that you want and you'll find it, such as a game like Far Cry. We have Far Cry 5, we have most of the Far Cries, games like GTA. You have Halo. I mean, most games that you'll want will be on Steam, and if they're not, they're most likely on a different launcher or on a launcher that the game specifically made for itself. Steam isn't only for buying games, it's also a community hub. So if you have a game already, I have Rocket League, you can go over to the community tab right here, click on the game, or you can look up the game and go to the community tab on the game page. And this is basically where people upload all their content. You can find a lot of stuff here: artwork, screenshots, discussions for questions and stuff that people ask. There's all kinds of stuff. It's just a big community hub for the game itself. You'll also have your library. This is where you'll find all of your games. These are all mine. As you can see, I have a lot of games, but that's Steam. Steam is the game hub of PC gaming. And lastly, you'll have your page, which is all of your information. You'll have your profile, and this is where you can basically look at all your rewards, such as your badges. These are all of your rewards, your games. I have 159 inventory, screenshots, videos, blah blah. You see it, and yeah, that's your profile. Like I said, go ahead and explore this area as much as you want. VR as well is ran through Steam basically. You'll get this thing called Steam VR. Whoops. And once you get Steam VR, if you have a VR headset, you'll go ahead and download that and set it up the way that it tells you to set up. Everything is pretty self-explanatory with this. You just kind of follow the directions, but nothing gets too complicated within Steam. Alright, so next we have the Epic Game Launcher. The Epic Games Launcher is another game launcher. This has a very wide variety of games, such as Cyberpunk, Rocket League, Fortnite, for instance. There's a lot of games. There's also this. I didn't even know this was a thing, but Unreal Engine is basically game development if you want to make your own game. It's very hard to learn, but you can install the Unreal Engine for free and go ahead and learn how to make a game. But just like before, you can go over to the store, you can search up a game that you probably couldn't find on Steam and see if it's on here. Like I said, this is the one where Fortnite comes in, which is a very popular game, so highly recommend getting the Epic Games Launcher. Next, we have the Battle.net launcher. Battle.net is basically the Blizzard launcher. This is where you'll get games like World of Warcraft, Overwatch, Hearthstone, Warcraft, Diablo. But the biggest ones are Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, Modern Warfare 2, Campaign Remastered, and Black Ops 4. Now, you do have to buy these games, and that's with all the launchers, unless they are free games. But games such as Call of Duty Black Ops and StarCraft and, you know, the high-end games, those will cost money, but they're all right here. Lastly, we have the Rockstar Games launcher. The Rockstar Games launcher is where you'll find your GTA 5 and your GTA 4 and your Red Dead Redemption games. It's not a very big game launcher. It's mostly for Grand Theft Auto if you're into that. But this is where you'll basically find your friends that you add on Grand Theft Auto, and you can invite them to play with you online and yada yada. This is just another game launcher and another community hub for that game specifically. Now, going back to Steam, if you wanted to buy a game, and I'm going to go ahead and find something free by clicking on this Browse by Gender Free to Play Games, and we'll just we'll get this Blood of Steel game. Basically, you'll find this, and if it's free, you can just go ahead and press that play game, and it'll ask you to install it. It'll tell you how much space the game requires, which this one requires 21 gigabytes, and I have 363 gigabytes available. So once you do that, you'll just click next, you'll click I agree, and then it'll start downloading the game right down here. This is where you'll find your downloads, and you'll wait until the game is already installed, and once it's installed, you'll see it on your desktop. Go ahead and launch the game, and you'll enjoy it. Other than that, that's about it for the programs that are pretty essential for starting your gaming career on PC. Games such as Minecraft can be downloaded from Minecraft.net, but if you have trouble finding the game or finding out how to download it, Google is your best friend. Just go ahead and type in, how to download Minecraft or how to download Fortnite or where to download it, and I promise there's a lot of tutorials out there showing the basics of how to download a game. Like I said, if you have any questions whatsoever, please feel free to contact me, and I will help you out as much as I can. And welcome to the world of PC gaming.